Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my Alsace wine journey. This is a video mostly for Alsace wine producers and people in the Alsace wine industry. And this is kind of a straight talk, straight up. As a consumer, I'm not an expert, but how I see kind of the region and what advice I can give to you. I'm not sure if I'm even worthy of giving advice, but I'm a real supporter of the industry, first of all. I'm really a supporter of Alsace wines. I do believe they're undervalued, underappreciated, and they're one of the best food pairing wines in the world and very distinctive. Having said that, I think, when I hear a lot about Alsace wines and how great they are, and everyone's like, this is great through this Alsace Millesimes tasting, how they're enjoyed all over the world. So I'm thinking to myself, you guys, if Alsace wines are so great, so food friendly, everyone loves them, then why has the growth in the drinking of Alsace wines not really appreciated or increased over these years, like some of the other countries' wines? So this is really a video just to share my thoughts. Don't hate on me. I'm just giving you my thoughts in the effort of trying to really promote Alsace wines and to figure out why in the world more people are not drinking Alsace. So here are my thoughts. Okay, the first point is be realistic and don't be in a dream world. Don't continue to tell yourself everyone loves Alsace wines. Everyone, it's the best wine. Everyone knows it. We're growing by leaps and bounds. Be realistic and be honest, which is you've got great wines. We need to get them out to more people, and we have to do a better job to promote, to make people understand the wines. I think when you come from an area of being realistic, then I think you can see growth. If you come from a thought point as everything we're doing is great, no problems, you won't grow and your market won't grow. Again, many of my thoughts are my personal thoughts. Please do not hate me for it. Don't, if you disagree, I'm sure there's a disagreement. I'm just trying to give you my thoughts as a consumer and as a lover of Alsace wines and as a cheerleader of Alsace wines. First thing I think is going through all the wines that I've tasted with the Millesimes Alsace tasting, focus on your strengths. The strengths are really Riesling, Gewürztraminer, and Pinot Gris. Those are exceptional. You need an identity. Alsace needs an identity. And so what you do really, really, really well, across the board, Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Pinot Gris. I don't think there's another region in the world that does a better job than Alsace on this. And it's so distinctive. And sometimes other things get caught in the area. So really focus, I think, on those three grapes and really make them world-class and world-famous. Having said that, you need to distinguish them from German Rieslings, German Gewürz, and Pinot Gris is kind of out there. It's yours. It's your area if you want it. And so that's really key to distinguish yourself. We're not German Rieslings. We're not German Gewürztraminers. Don't lump us in the same. We are different. Third point, focus on your strengths. Organic, biodynamic, and especially high environmental value. I don't think Alsace makes enough of a deal about this. High environmental value is about the whole environment, not just about the vineyard. It's about the whole, you're caring about everything, the plants, the trees, the animals, the water. That's so huge. And that really plays into the whole global warming, global climating thing. We're not just caring about grapes. Who cares about wine drinking? We're caring about the whole world. This is the key to Alsace, and you guys don't make enough of a deal about this. It has a huge effect. Whether you understand that or not, it has a huge effect on your wines. Because if everything around your vineyard is consistent with nature, your wines are going to be better. You're going to be a happier person. You're going to be a better producer of wines. No one else. I haven't heard any other region kind of concentrate on this. The other thing is, please kind of get it consistent. I know in French it's HVE, but in English it's higher in Vanderbilt, so it's HEV. So it's very confusing if you say we're HVE, because we've never heard of that. We only know HEV. So kind of among yourselves, be consistent. The next point I have has to do with kind of thinking outside of the box. So these are kind of random, kind of thinking out of the box type ideas. I know it might be completely against what you guys do, but just consider these. First thing, this Pinot, labeling the Pinot Blanc. Please, if you're gonna do Pinot Blanc, just use Pinot Blanc in there, because I know historically in the region you can label something Pinot Blanc and you can use Pinot Auxerrois. That doesn't work for North America. When you do that, that's called misrepresentation. I know it's historical, but we don't understand that, because that goes back to then you give the people the idea, oh, this is old school. This is European. This is not for us, because we can't do that. When people see Pinot Blanc, they expect at least the majority of grapes to be Pinot Blanc grapes, not Pinot Auxerrois. And you say, well, it's the same thing. It's not. It's not, because obviously they're two different grapes. And so what I would suggest is that you use, like I saw it with Domaine Pfister, they use a par. That's a grape, because it's not, it's a blend. Or what I saw very innovative with Arthur Metz is the name of wine called Sushi. I bought the wine just because it was called Sushi. It's like, oh, I want sushi. Let's try that. This is very innovative, right? And it gets people away from some of the things that take you away from Alsace wines. And one of the things is the names. They're really hard to pronounce for people in North America. And if they're hard for people in North America to pronounce, they're hard for people in Asia to pronounce, right? So make it easy for people to pronounce the names. Even on your websites, put in the pronunciation, or make it fun. Have some fun videos that tell you how to pronounce a name. That would be very useful. And if people pronounce the name wrong, or forgive them. That makes it more open, right? Well, the other thing I thought is that you need to kind of distinguish what is dry and what is fruity, right? Because a lot of wines in Alsace you describe as dry, I would describe as fruity. So when you give the description of dry Riesling, I think of like dry in the terms of dry Chablis dry, like bone dry. And so I think we should kind of get rid of that term, and Rieslings in general in Alsace are fruity. They're not sweet like German Rieslings, but they are fruity. They have fruit. And so that's, we have to get that wording or that nomenclature correct, because once you say to people, our wines are all dry, the assumption is that means they are bone dry. They are not fruit forward. They are like just almondy, or they are just clean, steely, right? Like Chablis. And so this is I think in your mindset, you have to get that straight. A couple of other things I thought would be interesting to kind of play with. I know this is going to be a very controversial idea, but would you play with the bottle size? I know the bottles are Alsace, and I'm not telling you to do this with your top-end wines, but maybe with your entry-level wines. Put the bottles in regular bottles. I know this might be a very, very difficult idea for people to understand, but I'll tell you why. When we go to a liquor store, when I go to anywhere, all the bottles are the same size other than the Alsace. I know this sounds stupid, But I can tell you, there is some reservation. Just because the bottle size is different, it creates huge problems. I can't close the carton of cases. I can't put this in my car. I have a wine bag. I can't put it in there. This is the kind of thing that slight little bit of difference will cause people not to buy your wines. I'm sorry, it's a very silly idea, but I'm telling you that's the truth. And experiment maybe with an entry-level wine with just a trade name instead of your region's name, which might be very difficult to pronounce. Put it in a regular bottle, see what happens. Try this experiment. I think that opens up the market and that takes away the stuffiness. One of the things that we really have to get across is North Americans and Asians hate stuffiness. Don't be stuffy. The answer to any question cannot be, well, we've done this for 100 years. Doesn't work. And that's really, I'm just saying this to try and open up the market. The last thing, again, very controversial. I hope people don't kind of delete me from their lists because of this. But with the Pinot Noir wines from Alsace, I do believe stylistically, they are not meant for the North American palate. I know this is controversial. They are, by and large, much more austere, much cleaner than the Pinot Noirs that we're used to drinking. And so, I don't know if this is too controversial, but maybe make another blend that is a little bit more fruit forward and would sell within the North American and the world markets. You can keep your Pinot Noir. I really think that there's a real market for Pinot Noir because Pinot Noir is loved by wine connoisseurs all over the world. It needs to be drank, and there's a huge market for affordable Pinot Noir. But Alsace Pinot Noirs, by and large, that I've drank, are a little bit more astringent, a little bit more austere, not as fruit forward, not the normal style. And I know that means kind of changing up your style a bit. That might lose the terroir. I know this is kind of very controversial. So, but I'm just kind of suggesting maybe experimenting. Because you can keep, if you're happy with their sales right now, then you can keep the wine as is. But if you would like to grow your market, then sometimes you have to make some changes and just experiment. It could be a totally wrong experiment, but nothing gained if nothing ventured. I know a lot of the ideas that I've shared in this video are probably very controversial. I know that a lot of even wine connoisseurs will think they're ridiculous ideas, but please know that this is coming from a person that really believes in Alsace wines, that really wants people to understand and get to know Alsace wines. I want to share my love of Alsace wines to other people. It's not fair for it to be a closed club. And really, the Alsace producers need to understand this. It is no good for you as an Alsace producer to have a closed club, just only knowledgeable people drinking your wines. That's not fair. That's not the wine world. We want to share our wines with everyone, with the masses. And we want people to enjoy Alsace wines and understand them. But you have to break that barrier first. And hopefully some of the ideas that I've given you today will open your mind and open the market for you. Hope this has been useful. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments on this. Happy to talk about it and discuss it, but please know that it comes from a place of trying to support Alsace wines. Until next time, happy drinking.